Oh.
Okay.
And there we go.
I just found out we're starting. Terrifying. Welcome to Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz, his daughter.
I'm Neal Brennan, friend of the pod.
Yes, friend of the pod.
And second time on.
Second, I'm a returning champion.
Well, he's actually been on 4 times, but we've only aired 2 of them.
Ooh.
Because they're not, well, because you don't, we
the
don't
other
roll the
2 were
cameras.
shit.
Well, it's not really, no, they weren't shit.
I'm just kidding.
We just didn't record them, and it wasn't here. It wasn't really a podcast. I think of every conversation I have with anybody as a podcast.
Yeah, well, I think that's smart. I think it's all content, Howie. It's just either you film it and distribute it, or it's just content for Howie, the Howie Mandel YouTube in your mind.
Yes, this guy is he's actually named his next special. This is your 3rd Netflix special.
Or Netflix, yeah.
Crazy Good.
Yes.
You got a lot to live up to when you call. You know that's
yes. Now, okay,
and
I
you're
agree.
Begging to be reviewed.
I'm asking for it. It's a dub. It might be a.
Do you mind if I eat a protein bar?
I wouldn't have it any other way. Go ahead, get right up on that mic, buddy. Really torture.
Do I have a question?
Torture the Howie Mandels of the world that aren't Howie Mandel.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be questioning them. Go ahead.
Crazy Good. It's a double. It means crazy is good, is what is the double entendre.
It's not a double entendre because you didn't say crazy is good. It's just crazy good.
Okay. Then I'm saying. Okay.
But as a reviewer,
yes.
Here's the thing. I'm a huge fan.
Yes.
And I believe I wanted to see the show, but they didn't get me a link.
And I'd also, not only a huge fan, you allowed me to film some of it here, and not only you're mentioned in the special as a crazy person.
I am.
And
I'm honored.
And you contributed your facilities for me to do a small reshoot for a few hours.
You make it seem nice. You paid.
I don't think we paid much.
Oh, I could have charged more.
Heck of a way to find out.
I just don't know how to bill. But the thing that I'm, first of all, you are really good at what you do, and you're very prolific. This is your 3rd Netflix hour.
Yes, it's my 5th. And I have a half hour on there too, so 3.5 on Netflix, hour and a half on Comedy Central.
Right. So, and the clip I saw is crazy good. It's really funny about I don't want to give things away, but I can because it's a clip.
Sure. Yep.
You know, you talked about how the downtrodden females on social media are on a journey.
Yes, they're all on journeys. They're all on journeys, and I think it's a lot of hot underdogs, and they're all on a journey, and when they began their journey, no one believed in them. And the joke is that it's not that no one believed in you, no one gives a shit about anything anyone's doing but themselves. No one's going to bed at night being like, you know who's never going to open a small business? That bitch Jessica. Good night. So that's it. See, is that crazy good? I was also trying to say, if you've seen my other specials and you found me like overly emotional and mopey, this is different.
Why?
Than those. Because I think it turned people off. I think the mopey thing turned some people off. Like, I don't know, I got to do feelings. If I'm a comedy fan, I would just want to watch an hour of somebody being funny. Whereas I was funny and emo. No, I think I got a lot of fans from it also, but I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to get more.
The breadth?
Yeah, I'm trying to expand the brand. And also give people, if you were a depressed person watching my specials, I'm trying to say there's a way forward. You don't have to stay depressed.
But why wouldn't you name it like This Will Be Shit? And so people like.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
set the bar low.
Set the bar low so people are just going to be excited when they watch it. Like, oh, it wasn't shit.
Right.
Like, I was expecting shit.
Look, I asked a number of people. I gave people 5 different titles.
And I wasn't included.
And sorry, I didn't include you. You've done too much already. I didn't want to waste any more of your time. And,
apparently I undercharged.
He wouldn't have charged
I'm the guy who, yeah, you undercharged. I'm the guy who, when we're on the phone, I go, I'm going to let you go. Even that means I want to get off the phone. Right. Look, I'm going to let you go. So I asked people what their favorite title was, and that was the winner.
I like, save that. Don't share that with other people. What? If I ever do another special,
Don't share it with. I won't tell anyone.
This is gonna be
yeah,
shit.
I won't.
No, but we don't have a big following. This is not. I don't do this podcast for the people. Where are you? I don't do this podcast for the people. I do it for just us.
Oh.
People,
Okay.
people try to expand and get big audiences.
That's never
That's
been
not
your
what
thing.
we want. No, this
Never
is just
been
a
your
little clatch, like a little coffee clatch of a discussion with people that I respect, the people that I love, and I love you too. But
You do stuff for the people, just based on what you just said. Like
yes,
you thought that
you're more about the people.
Yeah,
I
You
like
care about
focus
people.
grouping. I'm genuinely. I've written screenplays and then had a questionnaire for the reader afterward. Like, I believe you have to know. You have to ask people what they think. You have to give people options. What's your favorite? But I'll send cuts to. I sent the cut of this to 25 people.
Oh, that would drive me nuts. Really?
Which part?
I don't.
All the input?
Yeah, because unlike a story that you're telling, why are you laughing?
I'm
at that?
laughing because you are such a control freak.
That's exactly right.
That he wants no input.
That's not true. It's true.
Alex?
But, no. You come from the school. You've worked, been very prolific in television. You work in commercials and things like that, where you have to cater to a product and an advertising company and things like that. So you sit there. I know when I've done commercials, you do a take and then you walk back and you talk to the client.
Wait for the overlords. Yeah.
Yes, you wait for and you did television and you were partnered with Chappelle, so it couldn't have been just you. But stand-up comedy, for me, is a very, and I love it because of this, a lonely, unique experience where it isn't, for me, it isn't really even about the audience. It's like being alone in a room painting. And when you have a thought, I mean, I feel like I'm really lucky if I can share a thought and somebody else relates to it and laughs at it or recognizes it. But I don't want to do something that I think you're going to think is funny that maybe I don't think that's the funniest.
But I think you're asking the audience for their input. If it doesn't get a laugh, then it's not comedy. It's not even a painting.
I disagree with you.
Then it's a sentence.
Well, in that moment, but isn't there a moment where you get a laugh? Well, first of all, you don't show you're showing the reaction to your art. Your art is, just because something doesn't get a laugh doesn't mean it's not funny. It just means that audience didn't get it at that moment.
Well, that's why I sent it to 25 people, because it's like, okay, what, and then you listen to what a lot of people are saying, and then you take the aggregate. I'm not going like, he doesn't like it, so I cut it. He doesn't like, it wasn't that. It was like, what's the general vibration, and what areas do people mention? What ones do they kind of like, what do they ignore? I think that is the equivalent of, because that's how we used to do sketches on Chappelle shows.
Sketches and scripted is different.
But here's what I'm saying. We would write the sketch, we'd shoot it, and then before we showed it to an audience at the taping, Dave would do a show at Caroline's in New York and show sketches. And the audience kind of hated it because they thought they were going to get stand-up. And then we would show sketches, listen to where the laughs were, and then recut or read. And Mike Myers, another example of this is, Mike Myers would do audio recordings of screenings for Austin Powers and Wayne's World, and wherever there wasn't a laugh, cut it. Literally just send the audio to the editor and go, cut where there's not laughs.
Kind of get that, in the sense that I just think that film film and television is a different animal. Not that you're on television, you're on Netflix doing your stand-up, but it's just, I feel like stand-up is something that is so.
Jesus.
She has OCD big. Also.
Poof.
I know.
Wonder where she got it.
I thought you were
how she got it.
It was hanging off the table, so I thought you were gonna hit it. I'm just trying to help.
And you thought that added to the conversation?
No, just ignore me.
You've thrown.
Can I be honest? It really subtracted.
I'm sorry.
It divided it, honestly.
Okay.
Anyway, so my
Sometimes
point
when
is,
she doesn't have input in the conversation at the moment,
I get it.
Then it's about where things are on
no,
the table.
No,
What is
it wasn't.
What?
I didn't want it to spill over. It was hanging off the edge.
Because
That's all it was.
she has new pants on today.
fantastic.
That's what it's about, isn't it? It's about your new pants.
No, go on. Keep arguing, guys. Go.
Whew. Really makes you think, doesn't it? When from the mouths of babes.
I just think that you are. What is that?
Is that a new segment we don't know?
Oh
about?
Yes, the bonus round. We're now into the bonus.
It wasn't me. That wasn't
Ooh,
me.
we're
It
all out
wasn't
of
even
time.
me. We don't even have that. We've never even had that. What
We're
is
all out
that?
of time.
No.
I don't. Nobody knows what that is.
Don't cut to me.
We have no handle on it. Look at it. What are you doing? That was great. I was also fascinated because in the same realm, in the same discussion that we're having, is how particular you are. You're like and a lot of comedians are, but you're a wordsmith, which means, I just need a little.
Because I'm not charismatic enough to just get it. I can't really charm a joke in. I just like your natural disposition on stage is literally like what like it's funny and like you're trying to get it. You're fun. I don't read fun. You saw that cutaway to me. I don't read fun, so
Right.
I read intelligent. Because the glasses don't help either.
Wait, he's saying
You're not intelligent.
Is that what you got from it? That's what I get.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
You're an idiot.
But he's
Even your
intelligent.
glasses are fun, right? You have your own brand.
You're not going to win me over. The point is that. But I'm true. I'm not a wordsmith.
So
and
I
I'm not-
can't. I have my jokes have to be perfect, and then I'll be like, I'll just cut what Chappelle used to do a joke, which is Brennan would cut me out of the show if he could. Like, yeah, because I want the shit to be tight. So it's like, let's just get the 5 funniest things you said instead of the 8 funniest things you said. And it's just tighter and more compact.
But because you're relatable, because you are, I forget the word that you used before, but that the connotation was the mopey, or
That's about right.
Yes, was, I think, probably more relatable than my extreme excitement and jubilance is a panacea for the darkness that I'm covering up. Your mopiness is the most relatable.
Right. There's no cover up.
Right, but I imagine that everybody that watches you and enjoys you and tunes into you goes, "That's me."
Yeah, well, that's
so they're not disliking it; they're relating to it.
Yes, but I was like leaving a lot of meat on the bone in terms of like viewership. The people who do watch on Netflix, because even Ted Sarandos was like, people really finish Neal's specials. So
the retention,
yeah, the retention is higher than most, I think, comedians. So I'm just trying to like, and I'm no longer mopey. That's the other thing. So I didn't.
What was the cure?
Ayahuasca, DMT, and MDMA.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
You're on the
you in
Theo
the
Von
market?
shit. No.
Well, I brought Theo Von into the.
Did you?
into
Are
that
you the
shit.
reason that Theo Von was talking about he does it now?
Yeah.
And that works for you?
It-
Like in
yeah.
what way? Is it you do it with a therapist, like monitored, or you go off and do your own shit?
shaman, right?
Ayahuasca, you do it in a circle that Theo came into.
Yeah.
Theo and Roy Wood did it. Roy Wood Jr. did it together, and I wasn't there. And it's one of the greatest regrets of my life, is imagining those two together wearing all white.
There's
muttering
special
to
pants
themselves.
for ayahuasca.
You have to wear an all white outfit, so you look like a real cult member.
Why? But why? Why?
Because when they do it in Peru, it's pitch black, and you need white clothes so people can kind of see you. That's what it's been.
But
told
you do
to
it
me.
if you do it in the valley.
Yeah. Literally, it's in the.
No, I know. We've talked to Theo Von.
Yeah.
A lot of
Wait, do
people
you
go
guys-
into the jungles of Peru.
Nah.
He goes
Me and
into
Theo
this.
go out to near Six Flags.
Do you have a comic club? Is there like a bunch of you that get
There
together
have been.
and do?
I think I brought 5 or 6 people into the game.
Ayahuasca.
Uh huh.
You guys should all create a comedy special while you guys are on
ayahuasca. Is it's boring and it sounds like a person's dream. It's just like, and then I came out and the street was made of clay, and then it was raining Skittles. Like it's all just sort of like. But I will say, long term, it like softened my brain in a way it rewires your neurons. That's proven. And then DMT blew my head apart. And then
what's DMT? I don't know DMT.
DMT is the active ingredient in ayahuasca, but there's a thing called 5-MeO-DMT, which is you'll enjoy this, Howie. A thing that give me a list of things Howie Mandel will never do. Number 1, smoke the excretion of a toad.
How did he get the excretion out of the toad?
They literally squeeze it onto a piece of glass, and then it dries, and then they
out of what
flake it off.
orifice is it coming out of? Is it its mouth or
it's not its mouth, and it's not.
They just squeeze. You squeeze it.
Not its genitals. We don't know what it is.
Just wet moisture from a toad.
Yeah, but it's like they squeeze it. And of course, there's a funny thing where there's a backlash of like treat the toads ethically, which is so goddamn funny. Like, don't squeeze that hard, or like let's be smart about how often we squeeze them. Then they dry it, you flake it, and then you smoke.
It, you're just squeezing it.
No, you're not. You're not killing it.
No.
You're just teaching it a lesson. You're just teaching it a lesson about.
Well, it's toads helping others. Go ahead.
So, yeah, that's what I say with cows. It's like everybody's got to work. You know what I mean? Like, give me your milk. Anyhow, flake it, smoke it, and you're in outer space within 10 seconds. You're not outer space. You're beyond outer space. So that blew my mind apart.
So people that now they're learning from this podcast that they don't have to.
Wait, shouldn't there be a disclaimer, because it's not like go find a toad on the side of the road?
No, there's if you Google, there should be disclaimers on all this stuff.
Yeah,
like there's it.
Yeah, don't squeeze.
It blew my mind apart. This DMT. I'm not even talking. You're not. It's if you're in the Sonoran Desert and you find this kind of toad, God bless. But it's a specific toad in a specific area.
The San Fernando Valley.
San Fernando Valley. So now. So then the last year, I've done MDMA every few months.
What's that?
That is ecstasy or Molly or whatever you want to call it.
So without going to a festival?
No. Yeah, I don't do it in a party setting because I'm not fun.
You do it with alone.
I do it with Theo. Well, I would do it with you.
My imagery of people who are on Molly is they want to touch you.
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend have had some discussions about it beforehand. Don't keep your hands off.
Don't keep your hands off.
I say keep your hands off. I don't want to be touched. I'm basically communing with God.
You say to your girlfriend, don't touch
me?
me?
Yes, I sure do.
And then take Molly or give her Molly.
Yeah.
Together? Is this something you do as a couple? Mm-hmm. Is this like couples therapy?
It's very well. It's couples therapy in that you have a better relationship with something eternal, or again in my experience, and that helps the relationship because
girlfriend's not a frog, right?
She is not yet. Not
no,
anymore.
What I'm saying, you squeeze her, then you smoke whatever she secretes, and then you take Molly and say, "Don't touch me."
Yes. So
you're not scared now of all the shit that people put in, that's in drugs.
You can test it. You can get.
You have
tested.
a lab?
Well, no, but it's not. This is like an older gentleman. Understand? You have.
Yeah,
a lab.
no, I don't know. I'm really out of the loop.
It's probably like breast milk testers when you drink.
Basically,
right?
there's like the same sort of pH test, thing, and it can tell you if there's anything in it.
So you have that.
Yeah, but you can get it on Amazon.
Everybody has it.
Yeah, come on, man. Be cool.
Okay.
Be cool.
I'm trying to. No, I have a tester. What I'm doing is for the listeners. I want to just test your frog secretions.
So you weren't doing any of that shit in your last special. So this will be interesting to see.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now this special, I'm not mopey at all. I'm louder. I'm faster. I'm more obnoxious. I'm funnier. I'm crazy good.
But your girlfriend is miserable.
My girlfriend is shivering in the back.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't been touched.
Yes. So
are you microdosing?
I microdosed a few weeks ago. Microdosing's good, but I don't see it as like for me, the other stuff's been so effective that I don't feel the need to.
And is it once and done, or is it something that you do on the regular?
It's something that they say with MDMA you should wait every 3 months to let your brain sort of recalibrate, because it releases a lot of dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. So you do it, and then let your brain sort of get back to normal.
Relax.
Yeah.
Did you start doing all this because you were suffering from like anxiety?
Yeah.
Or
No, I had really bad depression
anything?
and was on medication for 20 years, and then once I started doing ayahuasca, you have to go off antidepressants to do it, and I haven't gone back on.
That's my scary. You see, to be honest with you, I would like to try it, but I'm afraid to get off my antidepressants.
Yeah, you have a lot. They do a lot for you, and
well, they keep me
podcast
joyous like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They keep you podcasting. They keep you
alive.
They keep you alive. Yeah, for real.
They do.
So I understand the risk, but
so you're not the same person you were maybe the last time we spoke.
Probably 2 years ago, I'm not the same person.
Totally different. But
like I said to you, I don't want to act like I'm a change. I don't know. People that don't know I did something are like, did you do something? And they can tell. And then like Bert Kreischer watched the special and was like, it was so bright. Like you were so much brighter than normal.
Well, that's a wonderful, listen, anytime, you know that my platform has always been mental health. And I love to hear, a success story. And then on top of that, to absolutely, to see the result of that, not only hear about that, but to watch comedy, to watch art, which is, I think, the naked, the analogy of squeezing a frog to get this thing to make high. I think if every comic is a frog, we get squeezed, and our comedy is that.
Yeah. I have a bit about, I say like, go to therapy, but if it doesn't work, just know that everything great in life is from psychopaths and drug addicts. And then I go through the inventors, Sigmund Freud, Wright brothers, Elon Musk, like all these people are.
The Wright brothers were nuts.
They, the joke there is, Edison did coke. Edison was a thief, but whatever.
Edison did coke?
Apparently, yes. That's what the internet said. The Wright brothers may not have been on drugs, but they did have the methiest idea ever, which is, hey, do you fucking feel like you can fly? And then I do like, well, Neal, what about comedians? Are all you guys psychopaths and drug addicts? I'm like, so far, we are. Richard Pryor, drug addict. George Carlin, drug addict. Bill Cosby, choose your own adventure. John Belushi. Say again?
Humanity. We're all
of course. That's
nuts.
what I'm saying. So this idea that there's this ideal state, obviously, like you were suffering, you're suffering, I was suffering. Like if you're suffering, do try to get out of it. And you can, you're
not suffering anymore?
Well,
I mean, it's podcasting with you is not. It's not the greatest. I mean, you got to drive. You got to go to the valley. Not even like the shallow valley, the deep valley, where it's almost something else.
I'm 3 blocks from ayahuasca.
You're not incorrect. It's a lot of the same route. So no, I've never been suffering less in my entire life. And
that's amazing. Congratulations, buddy.
The other thing, thank you. The other thing is, it's the MDMA that Molly has given me a sense of gratitude that I've never had before.
But I do want to say responsibly, because a lot of people watch and listen to this, and because I'm known for like AGT and Deal or No Deal, and there's families and there's kids, I'm not condoning. No, I still say go see a professional.
I do too.
And do not do this. It's really scary.
Dangerous. What I'm doing is dangerous and scary. It was effective, but it's dangerous and scary. Now and the caveat to that is ayahuasca and MDMA are both very close to FDA approval. So
why are you putting that in my warning? Why are you putting that so close to my warning about not doing it?
Because
it's a few years.
A drug addict too. It's just a different kind of drug that's prescribed. Your antidepressants or whatever are technically drugs, and you're addicted to them, and you cannot get off of them.
You're absolutely right. But here's the thing: so so many people will come up to me or write to me or email me. And they go, what are you doing? Because I have diagnosed OCD, depression, anxiety. And they go, what do you take? I never tell people what I take because I'm not a doctor. You need to go to...
Everyone is different. That's the
thing. I don't want you to take what I take. So when you're on my podcast saying the answer is, Molly...
That's what I did.
For him.
I don't think it's the answer.
Right. So I just want to tell people... to be responsible, don't do this unless this is supervised by a professional
Shaman.
and it's or a doctor.
Well, yeah, the IA and the DMT and there's no doctor involved. The MDMA, they're working toward getting. It's in the third phase of the FDA trial. It's still going to be way too expensive once they approve it. But was
all this expensive now?
No, not really. But the long term, it's going to be legal, especially the MDMA. But it's been just hugely helpful, but it has definitely been a combination of all three. But I've also done other things that help me, like transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS. I did that.
What's that?
That was a magnet that like does your head. It's a magnet that I cut to it in blocks if you want to show it. It's a thing. It's like minute 55 or something.
In blocks.
In blocks.
Blocks his special.
Yeah.
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 We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about this.
So go ahead.
And that's been helpful. Plenty of regular prescriptions help me as well, but this really, really helped me.
You spend a good portion of your time just trying to. I do too.
Yeah,
just trying to. But what the beauty of us is,
you got to go on Netflix, otherwise you're not going to be able to see it.
We'll put it in after.
Yeah,
it'll be there.
Yeah,
just so you know, when you're listening to this and watching this, we put this shot in after.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Right, Jarrett? Yeah, it's a good shot.
I could also just send you the clip.
No, but it's. Okay, it's enough of this shot.
Can you do that? Can you send it to me?
I'll send it to you. Over my dead body. They're not getting these fucking clips from me.
All right. We're in a commercial now. Okay, I'm not a comfortable guy, but one thing I am comfortable with is my underpants, because I wear this man-made brand underpants, which I have been wearing way before they have become a sponsor. And just to show you how comfortable I am, Kenny, is it your nephew? Your nephew's band is going to play. And I'm not a comfortable. I don't like dancing a lot, but in these underpants, it's the only way I can play the music. Good. That's his nephew. This is also a man-made brand T-shirts. The fabric doesn't bunch up, and it just is so comfortable, and that's why, I could dance so comfortably. And if you want to feel comfortable, you just go to manmadebrand.com and you could shop. We'll put a link, or you'll put something up on the screen. It's just, I was wearing these and will wear these when they weren't even a sponsor. But the fact that they're sponsoring is just, I think I'm dancing because I'm happy they're a sponsor. Man-made brand. Go check them out. Can I go back to the podcast, Kenny? I want to. And you're in a happy, good, how long have you been in this relationship?
Year and change.
Do you ever imagine you taking it to the next? Will you put a ring on it? And I call it because I don't know her name.
I think it's because you like the Beyonce song. If you like it, the Beyonce song.
I met her, and she is great, and she has a kid, which I thought would be a problem, not a problem, and and the kid's very cute, and the whole thing is so goddamn cute. I can't take it.
That's amazing, and that's so not anything I would ever hear.
I know.
Neal Brennan talk about. Neal Brennan is so enamored with a child he just can't take it. The cuteness.
Isn't it only usually a problem if they have a kid and the father or the ex is usually a problem? That's when it becomes an issue, not necessarily the kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've never had kids, so clearly I wasn't like dying to have kids. And I did enjoy dating mothers. Sounds grosser than it is.
You're a motherfucker.
Tell me about it. And
that should have been the name of your.
And I did. I'll tell you why I like dating mothers.
Why? Is this a bit?
Is everyone listening? It's not a bit. I like dating mothers because they had a primary emotional relationship.
Oh, you like to be the B story.
Because as a guy, I believe most guys, what we're good at is, or for me, I will say what I can offer a woman, I can be an entertaining penis person. I'm funny. We'll go places.
An entertaining penis person. That should be the title of your next special.
I have a penis.
Ladies and gentlemen, an entertaining penis person.
A very tasteful voice. And so in a lot of relationships felt like I was like a stepping stone to a baby.
So you're so different than me. You really are.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really want to be the center of attention. I did until I had children, but they were my biological children, and I love that they are the center of attention. But in dating or being with somebody or even being in the room with somebody, I really need to be the center of attention. You wanted to be the secondary.
I wanted to be the center of attention, but I didn't want to have expectations in terms of having a child with them. And I didn't want, that's a thing that's kind of the point from what I understand. So to get that out of it, where it's like, you have a kid? Great. Then I don't have to make a 50-year commitment to you necessarily. Maybe
so you could just stick around until this is no longer cute.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
I hope he or she
Does
is
she
not
know
listening.
this?
Well, no, yes, that's the whole thing of relationships. And I've discussed this with her. A relationship should be predicated on self-interest. I'm here because I like being around you more than I like being by myself. That's self-interest. I'm not there to volunteer to heal her or to nurse her wounds or to get to complete her. All that shit about you completing. No, I don't need completion. I'm good. If you want to come and aid and abet me, come on. If you can make my life better than it is on my own, then I welcome your presence. If it's going to be this, 1 + 1 should equal 3 to me. And a lot of times, in my relationships, 1 + 1 equaled 1.7.
I think, in my opinion, you're a very good writer. I don't think you could ever work for Hallmark.
Yeah, I think you're right. But if in the self-interest division, in the let's call it what it is, it's a new brand.
Have you ever gotten a card? No, just get myself a card. You know what? I want to celebrate me today. Is there a card for me?
Yes. You don't think? By the way, now's the time to sell cards for you in this era of humanity.
Yeah,
those would sell. They'd sell out they couldn't print them enough.
Really?
Cards for self-care cards?
It's a really good idea, but it would not come to fruition because who's going to get up to go buy themselves? Have you been on the internet, Howie?
Have you been the girl who's the trauma girl and the journey girls?
I'm going to go buy myself a card.
Yes.
And put it in an envelope and open it up.
You know what? The girls who say, you know what, before they do shit.
Are they the same as the crystal girls?
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Do you think those crystal girls aren't buying self-love card? I took this self-care day and I got myself a gift card and I put it in my self card. And this is a business and we're going to
color me wrong then. You should call up Hallmark and you can have a whole line.
I would love that.
Maybe it's a big market. I don't know. I would not, when I buy myself something, I like to just take whatever I buy and go home and use it. The fact that I'd have to open up a card first from myself to see who got this for me.
It's the same people that like journaling. They want to write to themselves.
Is that what journaling is? Writing a letter to yourself?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I journaled. I don't call it journal
You
because
would
I'm
You would-
heterosexual.
You would journal.
I call it a checklist.
No,
okay,
you
because
journal.
I'm in the military. It's a checklist. I write a gratitude checklist.
You're
No, you
journaling.
don't.
I am going to send you.
You can call it whatever you want. What I'm doing
He
is
thinks
checklisting.
journaling is, he's got
It's
a little...
a checklist. I'm
being a
straight
little
as hell. I'm
homophobic?
straight as hell, and I don't like penises or butts.
You don't have to
And do you
journal.
think that if you
could be
call
in
it a
touch-
journal, you're going to get a
But
penis?
something bad's gonna happen.
No.
to me. I'm gonna have to switch apps, and et cetera, et cetera. It won't be as cute as
It'll
it is now.
grinder you into the ground.
I'll be ground into
Grinder.
submission. So yeah, so I journal.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to me.
We are.
Part of my MDMA is appreciating my life, right? And so Rainn Wilson, the great Rainn Wilson, suggested that
Does he still use the great as a moniker?
he still does, yeah.
Okay.
He suggested because we were talking about praying, and I said Islam's got a good idea, which is praying 5 times a day. That's about how often you need to pray to like remind yourself, like, no, I'm a.
But you got to put your hands on the carpet.
I know you got to do.
I don't want to put hands
There's
on the
problems
carpet.
for you.
Yeah.
They do wash up though beforehand, so just that would
They're
appeal
not
to
shampooing the carpet.
you. Great point.
Go ahead.
That's the thing about Howie Mandel. He will find what is dirty about what quickly.
Okay.
Now, Rainn Wilson said, "Why don't you gratitude checklist 5 times a day?" And I said, "Fine." And I've been doing it for a few months, and it's been hugely helpful. So I just remind myself how fortunate I am every few hours. And it's not a journal. I'll tell you that.
No, it's a waste of time. but
No, it's not. Don't
it's
say
actually,
that.
I
You
would
can't
say,
shit on it.
here's what I would say.
I didn't shit
Howie,
on it. I
Howie,
don't shit on anything.
Howie,
And-
listen to me.
Go ahead.
Listen to me.
Okay.
You did, when you did my podcast, you talked about how fortunate you are.
Yes, I did.
And was that a waste of time?
No. I think we have to be aware and we have to be cognizant of all the positive, and the more you're aware of that, it shields you from, enveloping yourself in the negative.
Yes.
That being said, 5 times a day writing something, that's
It
homework.
takes 40 seconds.
Oh, so you don't have a lot to be thankful for.
No, it's just bang, this, and I'm done.
What are you most thankful for right now?
The money.
It went from being so
Spiritual. The money and the clothes. No, I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for my position in life. I'm grateful for my life is like custom made by me and for me. And I get to talk, I get to think, talk, and travel around talking like fucking Socrates.
The truth is, you are the epitome of what the world needs to do, and I'm a proponent of that. 90% of the world, I say this, I can't remember.
With full respect, yep, 90% of the world.
No, but we talk about, and I've mentioned this a million times, hump day is the connotation that, everybody gets up in the morning and not excited to go and do whatever it is they're doing, but they feel that they must. This is the plan. This is the world's plan for them. And Wednesday kind of connotates halfway through the week to maybe get to a weekend where they can not do whatever it is they hate, but not really. Very few people get up in the morning and look forward to doing whatever it is they do. And the fact that people like you and me get to sit and talk to a friend, get to put that down and perform it and get paid for just being who we are and thinking like we do, and don't go sit in a cubicle all day long.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with sitting in a cubicle, but I think you need something in life that inspires you. And most people don't have an inspiration. As somebody who is on AGT, it's the 19th season, and I can't tell you how many people ad nauseum going, I finally said that I should, you finally showed up to do something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
In the first time in your life. And these are people in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s saying
And
for the first time.
And you vote them off. Fuck.
He's a dream killer.
What a life. To have that power.
I was going for a
I
happy ending.
envy you to be able to thwart people's finally. No, I totally agree with what you're saying, and I was depressed. And I find, so knowing all that, knowing how fortunate I was, how rare, it's the thing I've been saying for a few years, how many comedians are there on the planet?
What is it? What do you had the number, Jeremy?
Professional comedians?
What?
I had the number. Did you have the number?
420.
I mean, let's say how many really good comedians are there?
Really
let's say
good or
400
just comedians?
Again, either one. You can be.
He said 420.
Right. That's roughly,
That was his
right?
reference to.
Correct.
He doesn't do the
Adolf
Molly.
Hitler. Adolf Hitler.
Yes.
Born on 420.
Funny.
Very funny. You'd say this for Hitler. He was pretty obvious about being crazy.
Well, he tried. He had the Charlie Chaplin
No,
mustache.
that's what I'm saying. He had the how do you know he's crazy? Half a mustache.
There you go.
Pretty fucking insane. I thought you'd be a warm audience for a Hitler joke. Turns out he's Jewish, guys, so he's not. They're still working some things out. Now look, so I knew how fortunate I was, and I wasn't appreciating it enough. And the MDMA has made me more appreciative.
Which
across
makes it,
the board.
that even makes me more depressed. Because intellectually, I understand that I am in I don't journal as you do or checklist as you do.
Yep.
But I am incredibly cognizant of my position in life and where I am, and yet I'm in the dark.
Yeah, it's hard. I think there's a cocktail that our brains are serving up, which is a thing I became aware of on MDMA, where I realized I did MDMA and I was able to forgive a bunch of people that I was mad at, right? And I was like, why was this so easy? And it was because I was flooded with oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, positive chemicals. And I was like, what am I feeding on most of the time? And it's cortisol. It's just a negative chemical. So I've trained slowly via journaling and all other things to not checklisting and not listening to the negative. I have a kitchen in my brain that just makes mercury sandwiches, and I was just eating them, and then finally I'm like, I don't even believe it. I don't even believe this, because I was able to take a drug and for 7 hours didn't believe anything. So what I call my personality is just a bunch of chemicals. And I was able to temporarily, or I've been able to do it for a while, but circumvent what my brain wants to do and just be like, that's not valid. It's invalid. Wake up, start screaming at somebody in my head. It's not, Neal, you don't even believe that.
What's your favorite thing? Is your favorite thing stand-up?
In the world?
That you do. That you do.
Stand-up's unbelievable.
Is that your favorite thing?
Yeah.
Because you're a director,
Yeah.
you're a writer,
Yeah.
you're a
Stand-up's
stand-up.
unbelievable. But stand-up's is like you have a
favorite
thought and you say it.
That's my
It's
thing.
unbelievable. And to be respected for it and rewarded for it is it's like, what do you, if I've written in the journal, like, if you're not grateful for this, what would you be grateful for?
I don't give a shit anymore about being rewarded for it. I have no desire to do a special. I love dropping in on the Ice House and the clubs and just doing it. I just love doing it. If everybody took everything away from me professionally, that's the one thing I would do. I love it. And that's the thing I respect. And watching you work and hone, and you're very different than me, and you have an incredibly different, it seems like very technical approach to how it's thought out. But
I envy your approach, by the way.
No.
I mean, they both have value, but it is like green. The grass is greener. Where I'm like, fucking. So
well, I also think that I could sit down. I wish I could sit down and focus. I have no focus on.
And I wish I had your ADD.
Well, someplace in between. You know, I'm thankful for my ADD, I guess, because it's working for me.
Yeah, but it is though. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like that. The thing that I do in the special is say like, we're all like video game characters where you get to make a character and you get 100 points to distribute between like dexterity and speed and all that stuff. And with some of us, it's just an uneven amount. Like the joke is like when God was making Woody Allen,
right? They
said, how many points should we give him for comedy and filmmaking? And God was like, fuck it, give him 100. They were like, but that's not going to leave any points for not fucking his family. and like that's kind of true. Do you know what I mean? It's not exactly true, but there's
No,
some.
it's exactly true. There are believers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm saying like that calculation, I don't know if that actually happened with God and with, whatever. But I'm saying like the people, the pretty much everybody, if you're very talented at one thing,
right,
you're going to be hugely deficient in other areas. And you just have to hope that the thing you're deficient in isn't obeying the law, because then you're going to jail. But if it's just like you're an asshole, people will put up with that for a long time, forever.
Well, some people don't even go to jail.
Well, of course, but you'll at least go to trial. And some go to jail for a few years, and then their case gets overturned. We're not naming names. Bill Cosby, who I know listens
to this
podcast.
Yeah,
he's a huge fan.
I know for a fact.
Huge fan of the show.
He's one of my best friends. I'm revealing a lot of information now. He's one, and we live together in the Valley.
Did you find that incredibly disheartening? Were you a big Cosby
I was
fan?
not a fan. In fact, I used to argue with Dave about him.
Dave liked him?
Yeah, of course.
I liked him.
I mean, I'm talking about 30 years ago.
So
I
I'm
was like,
talking
he
about,
just seems like an arrogant asshole to me.
Well, that's when he became arrogant. Before he became arrogant, when he was doing his albums originally, I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
When he was talking about his brother and he was talking about growing up and he was doing stand-up, I was a huge fan. I dovetailed, I knew of him and his success before I was aware of Richard Pryor, who became a god in my comedy world. But before that, it was Cosby. But it was just such a dichotomy between whatever he created as a brand, America's Dad.
I have a question for you as somebody who's been given a lot of, you've very successful, right? Can you see how a lot of success in show business could erode your values?
I could see how people's and this is humanity. It's not
I
shoe
agree.
business. Not for me, because I work really hard for everything that I do. But I think what happens to a lot of people.
Is this working hard? Go on.
I gotta sit with her.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm really hard to deal with.
Yeah, but Howie, define hard work, because I think all the earth and you may define it differently. Go ahead.
This is my respite. The truth is that, still $5 means a lot to me.
Yeah.
It still does.
Yeah.
I've been working since I was 11 years old, so I know I make a lot more than I believe that I deserve. For the amount of effort that I have to put in or the amount of joy I have, I remember working hard. That being said, when things start coming your way without any effort, and that happens where people want to hand you things, people want to give you things, people want to be with you, I think a lot of humans look for a thrill and will take advantage of those opportunities. And
I think it happens more often in showbiz, I would bet. Because it's such quick money and it's so public, and fame is intoxicating for the person and the people around them.
And you have access to more than any other business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if you're the president of the bank, you have access to whatever.
Pens, a lot of free pens.
Right. You could take them right off the chain.
I mean, they can't talk. Who's going to stop you?
But as an entertainer, you get free pens and
free pens.
Pussy?
If you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Thank you, Jackie, for saying.
What did you say?
The
Pussy.
quiet.
You're my daughter.
Pens and pussy. Pens and pussy if you're an entertainer. Galore.
Special
Lord.
title.
That's why I'm here. I have that's why he has a woman on the show.
That's my little girl. How if you're listening, Howie's there's a tear running down his face right now.
I'm so proud.
That's my little girl.
I am so proud. My little girl brought up pens and pussies.
But so
I can only imagine the graphic that Jeremy just drew. Pens and pussies.
So yeah, I would say that it is insidious, and there's also a section of the special that's about why is all this? Why does Kevin Hart have to be why does Ellen have to be nice? Why does Kevin Hart have to be humble? Why is anyone asking when it comes to like the transgender issues? Why is anyone asking the guy who played Rick James? Why are comedians now in charge of any. It's like not our
Well,
job.
I'm on this little campaign right now. I'm on a. It sounds, because I'm so vanilla, as it were, and people don't think of me as any edge, and I don't know that I have any edge, but I am anti-woke at least in the stand-up comedy community, and because I think that being politically incorrect, being wrong, being dark, being too soon are the colors. That's what it's supposed. That's why it's funny.
Yeah. People don't understand comedy, and the joke I make is like, so it's all of these serious issues, and it's been like clergy has failed, government has failed, media has failed, and business has failed, and then finally it comes down to like a serious issue like transgender, and people go, well, what do the clowns think? Has anyone asked the clowns?
Right.
And it's so fucking stupid. Like, how are we the backstop for, we're literally clowns. And the people that you thought were leaders, George Carlin was a drug addict, Richard Pryor was a drug addict. Like, all these people that you looked up to were very faulty. We're very funny and charming, but we're very faulty.
And the clown gets the most severe punishment. The clown gets his whole lifeline taken away.
This we could disagree with.
What are you talking
This
about?
I could disagree with. Show me someone who got their life taken away.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, well, he lost the Affleck commercial for sure.
So that was I know for a fact
I think there's a difference in getting comedy taken away as opposed to like commercials, and like you might get AGT taken away or you might get a brand deal taken away, but I don't think anyone could take away your comedy if you make a joke.
Listen, you can make a joke that is politically incorrect, that is even if it's, and I'm not condoning racism, but you can make a racial comment in the context of a, I always use the analogy of a painting. This is an art form. Comedy is definitely an art form. And if you are painting a picture, you could sometimes paint something vile and people go, that's an amazing painting. You really captured, a nude, violent image.
I got to see this painting. Go ahead.
That's what I do. But the point is, now they're saying that you as a comic can paint your picture, your verbal or audible picture, but you cannot use the color black. You can't shade it with yellow. You can't do this.
I would argue, though, and I'm with Jackie on this, which is like, there are corporate interests it's always been true. People have lost endorsement deals in the past. That's nothing new. My counter for this is like Dave's never done more arenas in his life. Joe Rogan's never done more arenas in his life. Shane Gillis they tried and he used it as a slingshot. There are people. Well,
I'm saying that the pendulum is swinging back, but there was a time.
No, I agree. But so now I'm defending the whole thing of like, Ellen's a pretty good example of like, I'm still unclear on what the charges were.
I feel like Ellen is different because it wasn't about comedy. It was more about her whole brand was literally
not a brand, her life,
her
who
life
she was.
Be nice. Like she put out there, be nice. And then to hear all these people saying like, well, she wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Why are you going to make yourself that?
But you don't know that she wasn't nice because at
whatever.
work she
I'm
got
just
mad
saying
at someone?
I feel like that's a different scenario.
Yeah, I also think the standard that she was held to, other people are not held to.
No. In
terms of even people with talk shows, like in terms of like these jobs are nerve wracking. They're exacting. I always say you're jumping out of the plane. You're the one jumping out of the plane. If you're an asshole about how the shoot is packed, I can forgive it.
But if you're in the public, yes, 24/7. So if one day you're not at your best,
yes,
or you're just nervous, or you're snapping back at people, or you just don't want to, you're not acting any different than anybody who is watching you, enjoying you, buying from you.
I've been an asshole to baristas, probably. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't.
Well, fuck you.
I mean, but also fuck them.
You're right. If they can't spell your name on a cup, fuck them all.
Please.
Yes.
Bunch of illiterate motherfuckers, disrespectful ass. I hope that people.
I agree with you a latte.
So this idea of that we're the sort of moral arbiters or whatever. It's like that's not the job, and the fact that you think it is a failure of other institutions, and somehow now we're on the hook for moral behavior.
Is there anything that you think that is politically incorrect or will be controversial in this new special?
There's a few of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you concerned?
Here's my thought. My thought is I'm not lucky enough to get canceled. There's a certain level, like it would help if I had a TV show or something and they could attack something.
Right.
It's Bill Burr had a joke, which is, what are you going to do? Take my podcast away? Like there's not
no, but
much
you do
recourse.
you are hired by national brands to be
I could lose commercials for sure because there are
and that's
things
a big part of what you do.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's invisible, but I could lose work from that, but I also stand by all the stuff I'm saying. Like I have
Ted,
a joke about
on Netflix they're good about comedy.
Yeah, very good. So
but there's a joke, go ahead.
There's a joke about how religions should make those political campaign attack ads on each other. That's like, which is and it's Jewish people making an attack ad on Christians and Catholics making an attack ad on Muslims. And it's a bit like, even as I'm doing it, I'm like, all right, I wrote this a while ago. Things have changed a little bit. And there's like there's like anti-Semitism jokes and Jews control the network jokes. And no one, and I showed it to Elon. I showed it to a number of people.
Elon Musk, you went
Elon Gold.
Oh, okay.
The
Elon wouldn't care.
The Elon Musk.
Yes, I'm thinking, I showed it to Elon Musk.
And he
said,
doesn't
this is
care.
good
I have an Elon Musk joke. Yeah, like, but so I showed it to Jewish people and hey, are we good? And but it could get fragged. I don't want to be anti-Semitic. Like, I'm not anti-Semitic. So,
no, but if it does come off that way, you just got Elon Gold canceled.
Yeah, I hope so. Finally. Then I have a sexual assault joke that's I would argue very funny. We'll see.
That's always been great fodder for comedy.
But I don't think you would get canceled. Any behind the scenes corporate stuff, like I don't think you get canceled. I think corporations are very performative. So it's only if your face is in the forefront,
Right.
then they'll be like, oh, you're the poster child for not using you anymore.
It's more complicated where they would be like, well, we don't want to hire, the agency wouldn't want to recommend me because then they'd be like, isn't that the controversial comedy, whatever, the anti-Semitic or whatever, the sexual assault guy or whatever the bit's about, whatever bit they get upset. Now, having said that, I doubt
It looks like
it's
you've checked
happen.
every box. Anti-Semitism.
Yes. And
sexual assault.
Sexual assault.
Well, then no one is
Muslim
singled out. No one's singled out.
Defending wokeness
Yeah.
or attacking people holding us to a standard. So I don't, who knows what will happen. I doubt.
Regardless, it sounds crazy good.
It's called wrapping things up.
That's what I'm doing. and where I know that's on Netflix.
April 9th, 2024.
That's when it starts on Netflix.
Yes.
But and then what about live dates? Are you doing any live
I'm not going back out I'm going to make sure that the next hour is as good as it. So I'm not going to strike while the iron's hot. But go on nealbrennan.com and join the mailing list.
Don't you, we'll put that, nealbrennan.com.
Yeah.
But won't you go out now to write? And shouldn't people be
I'm
part
going
of
to
that?
the clubs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm at the West Side Comedy Theater every Tuesday
I love
night.
that. In the alley there?
Best.
It is the best.
Yep. Every Tuesday night. And then I'm at the store, comedy store,
You got to try it at the Ice House. It's fun.
It's too far for me.
I know.
So, pretty cool.
Too far for you.
You don't make it all the way out to Pasadena?
I can't. It's too far.
No, he can't leave the valley. Like, the valley is where he'll go for ayahuasca and Molly and frogs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
won't go to
podcast,
Pasadena. And
choice podcast, prestige podcast. How are you? How's your life, Howie?
I think it's mostly good, right?
You're asking me?
You're my life. You're my child.
Yeah, we're good.
Great.
We're good. We're good. And I got family and grandchildren, and I'm shooting TV shows, and I'm doing podcasts. But I think I'm happy. Am I happy?
You just said that you're not happy. You just spent the podcast
Trying
saying
to
you're
be
not happy.
I'm happy you showed up.
Checklist. Gratitude checklist.
Journaling.
I'm going to journal.
You journal.
I'm going to journal. Anyway, I want people to subscribe because we have a new. You're still doing blocks, right? So check out your podcast too.
Neal Brennan blocks.
Yes, Neal Brennan blocks, and we have a subscribe button that is scratch and sniff. If you subscribe on YouTube and you touch the button and you hold your finger there for more than 5 seconds, your finger smells for an hour. Is it an hour now? Do we get an hour?
I thought it was a week.
Well, that your finger smelled for a week, but it has nothing
You don't
to do
wash
with,
your
that's,
hands.
That's not subscribing. That's just that's Jeremy has a stinky finger. Anyway, thank you. This is Howie Mandel Does Stuff. Neal Brennan. Goodbye. That was good.
Let me show you. I couldn't believe it crushed, and it kept crushing. I was like, how is this crushing?